Jonathan, we just finished up another recording on Synapse, and I thought that it would be constructive to add a little bit more on a secondary architecture slide on Synapse. And again, this is simple, and there's another multiple levels of complex architectures that organizations deploy relative to Synapse. But I thought it would be again interesting for a couple of minutes to talk a little bit more about that, about Synapse and some of the additional kind of technical capabilities and what that process is of both capturing the data and then as it flows through ultimately for it to be business impactful and useful, at the end of the day. So just go through that, a little bit and then sort of touch upon some of the additional technologies that folks may be interested in hearing about.
Sure. Yeah, so as the slide says, this is just a simple architecture, an example that you can use as a pattern. You got on the far left data sources that could be unstructured or structured. Could be from your ERP or your CRM. Can be from your meetings. Could be from recordings. Any kind of logs generated by other apps. Could be IoT devices. You would set up an ingestion pipeline using something like the Azure Data Factory that people may be accustomed to. This is now in Synapse Analytics. And then you would send it to the data lake, and you can store it in the medallion pattern, like a raw, process, and serving, or bronze, silver, gold, etc. And after that, you can prep it using Spark. And the great thing is that you can use, a familiar version of T-SQL or Apache Spark, PySpark. And so you got these serverless SQL pools or the Spark pools. And then you can send it to the dedicated SQL pools for more of like a modeling and serving layer for the enterprise data warehouse. So you have your logical data warehouse there with the power to serve all the business needs. You could further do analysis services if people are more comfortable with cubes. But either one could be sending the analytics data to a consumer like Power BI for you to build a dashboard. And for web applications, you could actually serve up this data, which you may have modeled, transformed, enriched with machine learning. Now you can serve it back to the customer worldwide with something like Cosmos DB. So this is just one flow end to end.
Yeah, that's perfect. It sounds, from a kind of a non-technical perspective, it sounds a little bit, complicated, but, is it in fact true? A lot of our customers are on Dynamics SL or Dynamics GP or Dynamics F&O. And of course, Dynamics F&O or D365 Finance has that direct link from D365 Finance right into the data lake, but some of the other systems aren't quite as automated, or some of the other services. Is it really difficult? We talk about Data Factory and we talk about that to ingest that data to make it consumable by a Power BI or by using some of the AI and cognitive services that are available, through Azure.
Yeah, there's a lot of connectors out of the box. And so some of them are obviously for Microsoft products, but many are not. And there's a lot of samples and walkthroughs if there's not an out-of-the-box data connector, how to get that into the lake first of all and into your workspace for Synapse. Basically, the sky's the limit as far as what you can do, what you can work with, and how much you can store. Because eventually you may run into limits on your space, on the power of the serving layer. But with this kind of architecture, the whole point is that with the lake, you don't have to throw anything away. And with Synapse, with the compute side, it's massively parallel. So you scale out, nearly infinitely, but at least for what you would need. You could start small as a smaller business. And if you're a large enterprise, it would also meet the need.
Yeah, I think that's That's perfect. So nobody should be scared of all these technical terms. It's more about what the business use case is, and at the end of the day, being providing the analytics and the insight that you can make kind of good business decisions. So that's where it's particularly important for our customers, a good portion of our customers. So again, pretty simple architecture here. Thought we would go through this. Maybe we'll do another video on kind of the next layer, for other folks. But thanks very much for kind of going through that with me.
Yeah, definitely. Anytime.
Thank you.